Modibo, is 64 a perfect square? Yes, it is. How do you know that it's a perfect square? How do you know? Modibo, how do you know it's a perfect square?
It's a perfect square because it is timed by the same number.
Good. And what number is that we're multiplying to get 64? Layla? 8 times 8. So yes, 64 is a perfect square. Letter B. Letter B, 20. 20. Is 20 a perfect square?
No.
With a hand, is 20 a perfect square? Edna?
No.
No, why not?
Because it's an even number, and it's not. It's close to 5, but it's not.
Very good. There's perfect squares on either side of it, 16 and 25. But is there any two numbers that you can multiply by the same number to get 20? No. So it is not. Sam?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, every number actually is something you can do that too.
That is true. But we're talking about whole numbers, whole integers for this situation. But you're right. Okay, on your own. Write these in your notes. Is it a perfect square? I'm going to put a couple numbers up. You're just going to do it in your notes. Yes? No? Got it? Go. Here's 4 numbers for you. Number 7, 25. Number 8, 2. Number 9, 99. And number 10, 36. Please write these in your notes and then determine whether or not they're a perfect square. If the number is a perfect square, please tell me what that number is that we're multiplying by itself in order to get the given number. Number 7, is 25 a perfect square, Dylan? Yes. What are the factors? 5 times 5. How could we write 5 times 5 as a power? Liam?
5 to the 5 power.
Close. 5 to the...
5th power.
How many times are we multiplying 5 by itself? Yes. 5 to the 2nd power. We also can say that 5 squared, which is how we know it's a perfect square, 25. Very good. Number 8, is 2 a perfect square? With a hand, is 2 a perfect square? Owen?
No, it's a prime number.
No. Very good. It is a prime number. Very good. 2 is not a perfect square. What about 99? Is 99 a perfect square? Alessandra? No, it is not. There are no two numbers that we can multiply by itself, like the same number by itself, to get 99. What about 36? Is 36 a perfect square? Colin? Yes. What are my two factors? 6. 6 times 6. Or as a power, I would write that as? 6. Very good. 6 to the 2nd power, or 6 squared. It's getting covered up by my little finger. Good? Okay. Let's do another example. This is a little word problem, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to write it down. You can abbreviate, but just get the important information down.
You have to write it down.
I would like you to write it down because I want you to have this in your notes, because questions like this will come up on the homework and you'll have a perfect example of how to do it in your notes. So here's what it says. A Monopoly game board has a side length of 11 yards and is square. What is the area of the board? What is the area of the board? So go ahead and copy this down, and then we'll talk about how to go about solving. It's possible. However, we don't need to turn and run away from a word problem. We can do this. The first step is going to be to figure out what is the important information that we've been given in this word problem. There are a couple of things here that are going to help us. What's something in this problem that we can underline that will be helpful? Liam?
11 yards.
11 yards. Okay, 11 yards is helpful. What else is helpful? Sam?
That is square.
Very good.
And also, how are you supposed to play Monopoly on a board that big?
Yeah.
11 yards.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Mr. Beast.
11 inches might be more. I don't. That's a great question. Okay, so it's 11 yards.
Maybe you're a piece.
Maybe it's a people. Yeah, like a live board. Okay. So
Oh yeah, you acronyms.
the last thing that's always important in a word problem is to understand what you're looking for. So we are looking for what?
The area.
Kennedy? The area. Okay, so we need to know what we're looking for when we solve this. The area is what it wants. How do we find area? How do we find area, Mia?
You times it.
Times what?
You times the numbers.
Which numbers? Colin? Length times width. If it's a square, what do we know about the length and the width? Miles?
All sides are even.
Very good. If it's a square, we know that the side and the side and the side and the side, these are all the same. So for area of a square, what are we really doing? If, stay with me, back up a minute before we get to the specifics. If we're doing the area of a square, we're really just doing the side times a side. Would you agree? Because the length and the width are the same. We're just doing the side times the side. Now, as you all know, because you're all way ahead of me, if one side is 11 and we need to find the area, what do we do? Well,
Multiply the if it's a square.
Yep.
You multiply it by itself.
Very good. 11 times 11, which is the same. If I wrote that as a power, how would I write that?
11 to the second.
11 to the second power, or 11 squared. So the area of my board is what? Liam?
It's 121.
Very good. And in word problems, we must always put our units. What are the units of this? Kennedy? Yards. Okay?